Hi everyone, this is Sohil Bhagat from Pi Ventures. Today we're very excited to announce our investment into Moonrider, which is building the India's future of tractors by electrifying tractors, which has not been done. Today I'm joined by Anup Srikantaswamy, the founder and CEO of Moonrider. Firstly, congratulations Anup, and looking forward to working together after this fundraise.
Thank you, Soel. Thank you for the investment as well as thank you for having me here.
I think the first thing that I want to ask you is we met the first time and you spoke about how did you get this brainwave of starting electric tractors, right? There was this farmer who really wanted you to work on it. Maybe talk through that journey.
This was sometime around April, May of 2023. We are a bunch of Bangaloreans who love filter coffee. One of our friend, he was unwell. We happened to pay a visit. This is in Mandya, which is the heartthrob of agriculture in Karnataka. When we went to his place, his father, who's a progressive farmer, he was you guys are electrifying different segment of the electric vehicles. Why don't you build an electric tractor for me? Farm electricity is free, and that was the statement he made. That was a eureka moment for us. Until then, we had built different form factors of electric vehicles: buses, trucks, two-wheelers. We hadn't really thought about uh, electric tractors. We asked him if we can meet of your friends in the farming community. He took us to what we call at the taluka
Right.
level, and we were having conversation. We thought, wow, this is going to
An
change.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll get back to that in a bit. But you mentioned that you've done a lot of different electric vehicles, right? Of lots of different form factors. Maybe talk a little bit about, for folks who are unfamiliar, yours and Ravi, and how your experience with electric tractors has grown over the years.
Right. I think Ravi and I have been in the automotive industry for almost 15, 20 years. I've been in automotive industry for 15 years and Ravi 20. And both of us for the last 8, 10 years, we've been working on electric vehicles. I was building electric trucks at Volvo. Ravi was exposed to electric buses at Volvo, Electra, and Green Cell Mobility. We have led EV programs from concept to customer, right? From engineering, R&D to vendor management, supply chain, production, and on. We knew that EV is a system problem.
Right.
We had been through several cycles, different duty cycles, but we didn't know that tractors were this complex, right? But when we mapped agricultural duty cycles to we thought that yeah, we could pull this off. That's been the journey.
Got it. And what makes tractors complex, right? Because we've seen on bikes, four wheelers, and so on, a lot of companies that are legacy OEMs in those segments have quickly been able to come up with electric versions of their vehicles. What makes tractors that much harder?
Um, Building electric tractors teaches you humility, right? It's because tractors are exposed to heat, dust, and vibration conditions, which are 100x more than what the normal passenger cars and
Right.
scooters go through. The duty cycles are far more punishing, and it's, for example, a plow. The moment the plow hits a wet, right, it's non-linear loads. The torque spikes. The current consumption is more. Everything is a variable around
Right.
this. And what happens is general EV components that is off the shelf
Yeah.
tends to fail. You have to have purpose-built battery pack, power electronics, and all of that to take this non-linearity into consideration. So,
Got it. Maybe talk about these economics, right? We've heard farm electricity is free, but it probably is not available everywhere. We've heard tractors could take a lot of time to charge as an electric tractor. But tell me about, as a farmer, what difference does it make using a Moonrider tractor, hopefully in the near future, versus whatever tractor I'm using right now?
if you look at the overall total cost of ownership, it's let's take a 75 horsepower tractor, right? It's 300 rupees versus 1300 rupees. When I say electric tractor would cost you 300 rupees per hour, whereas diesel tractor would cost about 1,500 rupees. Total cost of ownership includes running cost, maintenance, everything included. But if you purely look at the running cost itself, which is diesel consumption, right? If you take an acre of land, you will need 1 hour to do land preparation, right? A typical sort of 50 horsepower tractor consumes about 6 liters of diesel, right?
Got it. That's 600
That's
rupees
600
roughly.
rupees.
Yeah,
Whereas an electric tractor would consume about, I would say, 8 units of electricity, which
that's
is
80 rupees.
that is 80 rupees. That's the difference.
Right. I think that can definitely be a game
Yeah.
changer, right? And that brings me to the question on when do we see these tractors hit the road?
Yep. I think we are one of those companies which we are proud to say that over the last 1 year, all the hard work that we have put in, we have homologated the entire portfolio of tractors, which is 27, 50, and 75. That we are the world's first.
That's in horsepower terms.
That's
27,
in
50, and
horsepower
75 horsepower. Yep.
terms. And as we speak, we are conducting customer trials at different conditions, different geographies. Starting February of next year, we start the sales of the tractors.
Got it. And what's the plan? Do you want to go all out and start selling across India? Do you want to start in a small pocket?
Yeah.
How do you plan to grow the business?
We have a unique approach here. We have partnered with large rental fleet owners, so to say. Um Predominantly in East Africa, we have a channel partner called Hello Tractors. Um, and in India, we focus on Rajasthan as the area where we have partnered with a company called EM3.
Okay.
Why Rajasthan is because it's an energy surplus state. Government is progressive, and then it's top three farm equipment market. Right, Rajasthan sells about 25 to 30,000 tractors a month.
Right.
That's the area where we will start. We don't open dealerships at least for the next 24 months.
Right.
What we have observed during our initial dipsticks is that 65% of the tractors that are on the farm or on the road is actually rented, right? People, you and I, we buy tractors for our own use, but in order to increase the utilization, we deploy it on rent.
Right.
Some of it is fragmented, but there are players who are running as a large rental fleet operators.
Got it.
Rental makes all the sense because a lot of the farmers don't buy tractors because of the capex. For them, since the land parcels are small, it makes it viable to rent the tractors and economics works. Over the course of next 24 months, we start to deliver these tractors to those partnerships that we have made um, with the rental fleet owners. And during the due course, we get traction, we get feedback, and over the course of 24 months, we'll prepare ourselves to directly sell it to the farmers.
Got it. And then, if when we were doing our diligence, we came across a bunch of people who were a bit of a who were detractors in a way for the space, right? Saying tractors cannot survive in the farm. They will not give you as much runtime as tractors really need to. You can't charge them overnight, or you don't necessarily have time to charge them for the field because during hectic you need tractors to be operational nearly all day. What's your answer to that?
No, I think fundamentally what happens, Soil, is that um, if you buy off the shelf component and try to put together as an electric tractor, it will never perform, right? Because if you look at fundamentally how you build an electric vehicle, car and scooter is for speed, whereas tractors are high torque applications, right? For example, let's take a PMSM motor, right? Typically, a PMS motors can go from 0 to 9,000 RPM, let's say a 30 kilowatt motor. Whereas if you're designing it for speed, it is 3,500 RPM, right? In order for you to generate high torque, the RPM should be at around 1,500 to 2,500,
Right.
which means that entire architecture of the motor changes. It has to be purpose built. If you optimize for it, then we have been getting already feedback from the customer trials we are running. The 50 horsepower tractor with implement, with rotavator, with cultivator, it is running for 7 hours now. And quite
Is 7
frankly,
hours enough?
that's a good question. During the time critical applications, puddling use cases, uh, farmers use it for 12 hours, 13 hours as well. But nobody can drive a tractor continuously for 12 hours, right? They will take a break of 2 3 hours during the lunch. How we have designed is that all our tractors are on high voltage architecture. You can actually use a portable charger in the farm to charge the entire tractor in about 2.5 hours. If you take the tractor out to a DC fast charger, right, so you can charge the tractor in about 30 minutes. Right? You don't compromise on the uptime. That is how we have designed the tractors.
So in the middle of the day when the farmer is taking his break, they could actually charge up the tractor and
Exactly.
continue usage.
Exactly.
Interesting. Um, One of the other things that we noticed was usually when we meet companies who are building these EVs, their first unit is usually for close by, right? Your first unit went to Kenya,
Yeah.
right? Tell me the story about that, and then do you people using there? What is their reaction been?
Right. It was funny. What we did is, after we got this idea from the progressive farmer, we had our own apprehensions. For example, rural electricity, maybe there is a fluctuation. How
Right.
can we manage?
Yep.
A lot of that. Right? We were studying what are all the countries that have similar agricultural practices. East Africa was interesting. We happened to visit Kenya, and there we found this company, Hello Tractors, and the founder has done amazing work in Kenya. We bumped into each other and started having a conversation.
Right.
That was a time when Kenya largely was affected by Russia-Ukraine war. The oil prices shot up,
Okay.
and they were operating at a very thin margin. There was stress on the
The
tractor
farmers.
entrepreneurs, on the
Okay.
farmers, on the fleet owners. Uh, During this conversation, we said to Jahel, who runs Hello Tractors, as, hey, we have an electric alternative, and we showed the numbers. With that, what we could able to demonstrate was that you could triple his margins, right? The tractor entrepreneurs' margins. That will help a lot of other things, right? Their ability to borrow money, all of that changes when you have lower operating cost.
Right.
That's how the Kenya journey started, and still East Africa is the primary market for us.
Wonderful. Interesting. And maybe a little bit about what let's look at it differently, right? We have these tractors that exist now and they've been homologated, as you mentioned. What And that's just one part of what happens in the farm, right? There is change that will be brought about by having more tractors available at cheaper cost to farmers. But if you were to look at Indian agriculture and how this is a moment that of kickstarts in Indian agriculture moving in slightly different directions from where it is today, what all can these tractors impact?
That's a great question. Probably I would encourage us to look at, let's say, 10 years from now, right? 10 years from now, um, the biggest challenge that the world is facing is the food security, right?
Right.
There is at least 24 trillion, it's estimated that $24 trillion worth of agricultural products are required. Needs to build capacity and capability to cater to that, right?
Right.
Now, when there is so much of operational issues around, for instance, stress on diesel, geopolitical aspects, and on, I think fundamentally three things will change the game. One is mechanization at large. India has, if you look at, there is 22 tractors for every 1,000 acres,
Right.
right? Whereas US has 560 tractors per 1,000 acres, right? There is phenomenal opportunity to sort of mechanize this. And then if you reduce the cost of running cost, let's say with the help of electricity, more and more younger population wants to go back to farming, they would be able to earn a decent living. That will actually kickstart this whole of capacity and capability building, right? But there is a cultural aspect that needs to be fixed. One is in India, especially, the land parcels are small
Correct.
and they don't collaborate. That is where the FPO and the government is making a lot of effort now. Uh, if the collaboration is, we figure it out, then I think we build for the global consumption.
Wonderful. And maybe let me end with a question on economics, right? Because we as Indians, we are used to, at least we're stereotyped as ones who always ask kitna deti hai, which is not relevant in the electric tractor thing, but kitne ka padta hai tractor? Like how much
Right.
more expensive are we looking at
Right.
when we say a Moonrider tractor versus an ice tractor?
So we are proud about that. One of the core problems that we have for is the price parity, which is bringing the Moonrider electric tractors priced on par with the diesel tractor. Right today, if you look at any of those global players like Kubota, John Deere diesel tractors, we match the price of that, right? And we are 20-25% higher than the Mahindra, Tafe, and the Indian
Right,
manufacturers. At scale, we can bring down the cost further down. All of this we were able to do with fundamentally looking into, let's say, where is the, if you look at the cost structure, 50% of the cost of the vehicle is the batteries, right?
right,
We looked at how can we sort of reduce the cost of the batteries. That's when we invented this refrigerated battery pack,
right.
uh, which brings the price significantly down. Hence, of uh, bringing the price parity. So how we did this is we attacked this problem from both the sides. One on the supply chain side, and second on the engineering fundamentals.
Right.
Right. Engineering fundamentals, just how I described about going with first principles, looking at cost structures and stuff. Supply chain, basically, a large part of the industry, if you look at, is depending on imported generic EV components. Right.
Right.
What we did is we localized battery pack, we localized power electronics, even the subcomponent level. That eliminated the freight cost or
Oh,
middlemen,
yeah.
uh, and
Customs and all that stuff.
customs
Yeah.
duties and stuff. That actually gave us brought the cost structures down and bringing the price parity.
Wonderful. And for let's say a John Deere or a Kubota or these larger ones, if they were to put out an EV tractor, how much more expensive would their EV tractor be versus their ICE tractor?
Lovely. I was in Hanover for Agritechnica, which is the uh, mecca of farm tractor and equipments in Germany. We were surprised, and when we looked at John Deere actually showcased their electric prototype, 75 horsepower. Um, they are talking about 200,000 euros in Germany. Similarly,
Which is six times
which
or
is six,
more the
yeah,
price that you are
even more.
looking at. Okay. Like tractors are known for their bumpy rides. I'm assuming building one of these would have been a bumpy ride as well, right?
Yeah.
What were the biggest moments where you felt you're probably not going to make it, and how did you turn it around?
Oh yeah, I mean, if I just recollect one instance at least, it was a major bump. Thermal management, right?
Yeah.
The initial prototypes that we built, it wasn't actually was able to take that at 43-degree centigrade. It was giving up, right?
The battery.
The battery, the powertrain, everything, and
43 ambient temperature.
yeah, 43.
And tractors have to work at 48, 50, right?
Exactly,
In Rajasthan, no less. Yeah.
exactly. And that was, I still remember November 2023. We don't have, we were stressed. Ravi, me, and Nitesh, who is the head of engineering, we were in China looking for, there was literally nothing. We were in Starbucks in Shanghai, I still remember. And that is when we figured out we need to completely redesign the whole cooling system. And that is when this whole refrigerated battery pack and oil immersion and the entire
Ah.
liquid cooling of entire system needs to be done.
And did you have experience doing that, or
No,
do you have to learn on the
you don't even have a white paper
right?
anywhere on that. We had to completely build it from the scratch, and it was uh, exactly how they say lot can happen over a cup of coffee. It did happen there. That is a place exactly where we innovated that, and we came back quickly. We built a prototype, and we saw that we could maintain the temperatures below 35 degrees always.
Right.
And I was
A lot can happen over a cup of coffee, CCD, by the way, and not Starbucks,
yeah.
but Starbucks will take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And when you handed it over to farmers for trials and have when they've used it, what has been their reaction?
One of the best experiences that we have had is we were the first one to ship this 75 horsepower tractor to Nairobi.
Hmm.
We built the whole 75 horsepower tractor prototype in about 3-4 months, the first one, but it took 6 months to ship it actually. And when they received it, I still remember Felix. She's a women tractor entrepreneur,
Right.
part of the Hello Tractor ecosystem. She was the first one to receive this. She was skeptical.
Hmm.
When she drove the tractors, she was surprised. It is no noise. It outperforms of the diesel tractors she was driving for the last 5-7 years.
Wow.
And she was using 100 horsepower tractor implements on our tractor, and it comfortably sort of navigated all the terrain. And she was blown away. And even today, we have this working group. She's part of the working group where she gives customer feedback. The prototype is still running.
Feedback is still coming in.
Feedback is still
How
coming
many is
in.
she ordering?
She, I think she at least needs two, because she has around 1,000 farmers in her collective.
Oh wow.
She serves 1,000 farmers. She, when do you ship the next shipment? The December end, the two tractors that will go to Nairobi will go to Felix.
Wonderful. Felix, if you're watching, I think the team has done a phenomenal job basis your feedback.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.